Welcome to VezaTalks podcast. Today I have Milosh Vukovic with me. He is an entrepreneur, CEO, and a world champion in karate. Milosh currently resides in Dubai and is running PTD Fitness, which is a high-level fitness company that has over 70 highly skilled trainers and is the go-to trainer for high-level CEOs in Dubai. He grew his company from 3 employees to over $5 million in revenue in 5 years and is doubling his business now every year. His goal is to be the number 1 high-end personal training company in the Middle East. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, Mario. Thank you. This was very spontaneous, from a coffee to your podcast.
Absolutely. That's how we do it here, So that's really cool. Before we get into business and everything like that, I really want to kind of focus on, a little bit of your background and everything like that. I know you can kick my ass in karate, so I'm not going to say anything too controversial. But, tell me a little bit about, your background. I know you're from Serbia originally, and you're a high-level karate trainer, I suppose, and whatnot. But yeah, tell us a little bit about your background and how you started and what your passions were before you actually moved to Dubai.
Yeah, so basically I'm born in Smederevska Palanka. I grew up in one small village, Vodice. And yes, I grew up there. I started training karate at a very young age, and my father was my first coach. So that was my routine. Every day before the school, you train, you go to the school, you train after school, you come to, then you train in the evening. So it's like, that was my life. When I was really young and I used to live in Palanka. Then I moved to Belgrade, 2005. I started competing for different clubs here, and then I started studying my college of, physical sports and physical education.
Okay, great. And so basically you made it all the way to a world championship in karate. Where did you go and what was that like? And how many years of training was that actually?
Sure. So basically, first I started very young, like when I was 5 years old, and then, but because I was not too interested in that moment in karate, my father just put me on like, okay, you're not ready. So but he built in the house like a full of equipment, the heavy bags, and whenever he came home, he asked me, "Did you train today?" I said, "No." Oh, okay, and then it was like a sad face. So that was like put in my head, did you train? So I started training. And then when I was 14, I started training, and then I started be obsessed about that. Okay. So, and yeah, it was my dream to go on a world championship one day. Then 2008, it was like the first time when I was like I supposed to go on a world championship, and then I broke my leg. Okay. Like 3 weeks before the competition, it was like tournament in Belgrade, just a regular tournament, just between national team between each other, and I broke my tibia, like a big bone, and like it was totally fractured, and fibula, the small one. Mm-hmm. So, and that was like the most of the people like said it's done. So, and it's done, but I had in myself, I will, stop when I want to stop. And after that, I had a surgery. I had a titanium in my leg. I got, and after 6 months, I went on the first fight after that. So, but at that moment, after I realized, okay, I start training karate because I love, because I enjoy. So I was not obsessed with a goal. I was not obsessed with the results. I just thought, okay, let me enjoy this. And I became, again in a national team, and literally I didn't even plan to. I mean, I wanted, but I was so like follow the flow. I was doing competition never better. Even for 2008, I was training super hard. I was obsessed, but I was overtrained. And then I became part of the national team Serbia, 2010, and 2000, yes, and we won world championship, Serbia national team, and I was part of the team, and I won all my fights. So it was from 110 countries. We made a historical result, and that was the best result in history of karate, of Serbian karate in team.
That's crazy. So you basically broke your leg. Yes. You have a titanium implant now. And you became a world champion. I mean, I can't even imagine that you'd be able to walk, and that's fantastic. So after that, you tell us a little bit of story. So what year did you actually move to Dubai? When was that?
So basically, I moved 2015, but before that, I I won in one reality show. Maybe that's not interesting for this story, but it was I just was just following the flow. So on the one party, it was like humanitarian from Kraljevo. I met some people. They called me. Okay, we need a sports guy for the reality show, and say, okay, why not? Like, okay, you have like a few €100 daily, no, or weekly, or weekly. Yes, like okay, let me take some money. That was for me just fun. And after that, after 3 weeks, when the first nomination came and they wanted to kick me out, I said, okay, I will not go. I will go out when I want. And then after 4 months, I won in the reality show, and I got €200,000 with one girl. So it was like the biggest paid reality show on the Balkan. So that was my story. Okay, I said myself, okay, let's make something from this.
Sure.
Let's make some business. Yep. So then I opened one cafe. I had 2 nightclubs in Belgrade, and that was 2 of them failed. One of the best in Kafana Stara Pesma was one of the best in Belgrade.
Okay.
Basically, I didn't know too much about hospitality at that moment, but I had very good partners, and that became really famous. But then I realized, okay, I don't enjoy the nightlife. I used to be like a bodyguard on Ibiza and Mykonos with all the billionaires. But I don't enjoy being awake until 3-4 a.m. because I have to. I love to go to the to the party from time to time, but if it's obligation, I don't like it. So I just felt that I have to change something, and I was just literally like something is guiding me. Like I have to go somewhere.
Sure.
And I became obsessed. I want to go somewhere. Because I always thought somewhere else is different, and it's like everything will come.
Right.
Yes.
So talk about this bodyguard thing. I kind of knew about that, but like. What was that like? Like you were protecting like some famous people, or what was that like?
So basically 2008, when I broke my leg, I was in the Palanka in our city. So, and it was like one disco club, and I was watching. I was literally still my leg was not recovered. So I was watching this party on Ibiza, and I was looking, oh, this is it. I want to go there one day, and if I do that, that's like my highlight of the life. And one of my friends, which we used to do like a security when it was, like I was training in sports in karate, so I always connected with security, with the doors. So he called me after, literally after 2-3 months, I need a guy, can you come to Nice? No, to Mykonos, first to Mykonos. I said, okay, let me go to Mykonos. I don't know. Or first to Nice and then to Mykonos. And then I went to Mykonos. I was bodyguard of some South African guys, who was the best friend of Jacob Zuma. So it was at that moment, €500 a day. It was like a huge amount of money. And for me, it was 300. So I was like, oh, this is highlight of my life. This is the best.
Right.
And then 15 days job. And then everything is done, finished, and then they called me, okay, let's come back to Nice, and you have to go to Saint-Gafra, one place next to Nice, so to be a bodyguard, but you're in the villa, it's boring, you look at the CCTV, the money was okay, but I was after 5 days, I called, my friend, and said, I cannot do this.
Right.
I came from the highlight, with everything, all the parties, everything, all the best restaurants, to be in the, boring villa. So, and then I cannot do this, so I want to come to Ibiza. He said, but I don't have a job for you in the beach. I said, I don't care. Find me a few days, I'm done.
Sure.
And he said, okay, maybe I have a few days. Okay. I took a ticket. I came to Ibiza. He found me a job for a couple of days, and that was starting working on Ibiza. I was like, the bodyguard of the huge, billionaires.
Okay.
And that's the moment when I changed my mindset. I was protecting one guy who was like, they're I don't want to speak about names, but they're owners of Topshop and Marks Spencer.
Sure.
So they were sponsored to Kate Moss. So they're worth $4 billion. So I'm protecting the guy who was like 17 years old at that moment, and he was spending 50,000 euros every day in the clubs. So I was not upset. Okay, but I saw this is possible.
Right.
This is possible, and I am here.
Right.
So okay. And then that was the first year. So I've been there in all the best clubs which I watched on TV, like Amnesia, Pasha. I was like all these parties. So I was like, okay, this is possible. But I forgot to tell you, 2008, I watched movie Secret first time, and I put the check of 100,000 euros, dollars. 2010, actually 11, I won that in the reality show, and then my mindset started changing.
Absolutely. That's amazing. Yeah. So you finished that, and then now we're inching closer to, what made you want to go to Dubai in 2015? Because, Dubai was an up and coming place. Now it's the place to be, Middle East, UAE. So 2015, it was still kind of like, after the crash of 2008, 9, 10, real estate is recovering, I suppose. So what made you want to go there?
So basically, I was just obsessed to go somewhere else, and I told my wife, I have to go. I felt that nightlife is not up to me, and it will come crash, and I was right. But I just, should I go to US? Should I go to China or Dubai? And I did natal chart and asked, where is the best for me? They said Dubai. Boom. Tomorrow I bought the ticket for Dubai, and I'm going in 1 month. I realized that I'm really going when I went on a flight.
That's right.
So that was the moment when I realized, I'm really going to Dubai. Actually, I went to Abu Dhabi. I was 3 days there. I knew one guy, and I said, I was paying the hotel like maybe 70, 80 euros a day. So I came here, but what now? What now? So I said, I have to go to Dubai. This is not for me. So I was invited because my friend used to work in the police, and he told me, maybe you can work in the police. And then I went on a interview, and the captain didn't show up that day and said, come tomorrow. I said, this is a sign. This is a sign. This is not for me. I cannot wake at 4 a.m. To work in the police, like education teacher, physical education. So I went to Dubai, and then the story starts. I can talk a lot about that.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, when I came to Dubai, I realized, that I find a hotel. Where will I be? I found some roommate to share, to expenses. But then I don't have a job. So I don't have a job. I was looking around. So I got a job through my friend, to work in a nightclub like a security. So I was basically paying a hotel, around 1,500 euro per month. And my first salary was 300 euro, 1,200 dirhams. I was staying on the door. I had a nightlife, a club here, like high life, everything. So I put myself to minus literally, just because I have believed that I have to do something different.
Yep.
And I realized myself, I used to work with some, random, guys then from Egypt who were there on the doors like for 10 years, and that's career for them. So I came, you should have a black shoes. So I have black shoes. I bought new black shoes. At that moment, I paid 300 euros, which is big money for me at that moment. But they had some brown thing. It's you cannot do this. Your shoes, there is a brown there. Literally that it's okay, So I was literally saying that, the one girl, asked me, do you really love this job? Because you're like, yeah, I'm here. So I was not putting myself, I have to do it. No, if I'm working that, I'm there, I'm fully in, and I want to have fun. So, but then I realized, this is not making me anything. And I got invited for Ibiza again. I was working every year till that year. That was 2015. My last year on Ibiza, and then I took like a few thousand euros. I came back. I got a ban because at that moment, when you resign, if you don't fulfill the contract of 2 years, it doesn't matter what it is, you get banned from the country. Okay. Basically, you cannot find another job. Okay. So the only solution was to open my company.
Right.
But I didn't have money for my company, but I found a local guy who can make me a partner visa if I pay him, like, for example, 25,000 dirhams, and, for him, that cost him 6,000 or 7,000, doesn't matter. So, and I came to him, can I pay you half now and, half, in a few months, and say, it's fine. So that was I stayed there, and then, a lot of things happened, but then we started fitness business. It was... Before that, it was a funny story. I took the apartment. So last money I had at that moment. So because I told my wife and my wife, my daughter was 1 year and a half old. So, you will come in next month to Dubai. And they thought I have everything ready. I already made millions. I went there to make millions. It's already done. So I took the ticket for them. I took the apartment. I remember, it was a Rimram, nice area. So I gave last money for 3 months apartment. And when they came, the day after, the owner of apartment, because he was in Canada, said, this was not my signature. You have to go out. This is not me. I said, it's your agent, the same agent who was last year, and I got through recommendation through the lady who, you rented last year. No. It's not me. You have to go out. And I have 1,000 euro, and my wife and my daughter arrived. So I was and I was supposed to open the business with my friend who said, just at that moment started pulled back and nothing.
Wow.
So he said, and that was the story. When everything, start, become, you start have to, that's the moment when you have to visualize. That's the moment when you have to believe. That's the moment when you have to, wash brain with affirmations just to get motivation to, because I know I can do something, but I don't know how.
Sure.
So yeah, that was part of the journey.
That's crazy. And it goes to the testament of sometimes you have to have your back towards the wall and no other option, and that's when your brain starts going into survival mode.
Yes.
And that's when you actually try to do the best you can. And I mean, it's a crazy story. And a lot of people, they see companies and they see somebody that's successful but don't know the background of it. They don't see anything behind the curtains. And it's nice to be able to go beyond that and be able to hear some of the great crazy stories, right? Because I didn't even know about this, and I've known you for 4 or 5 years or so, right? So that's really interesting. So yeah, so basically your family arrived. You had 1,000 euros. Everything was falling apart, and then what happened?
Yeah, everything was falling apart, literally. And I text the guy, okay, let's stay there at least 3 months. I paid for 3 months, So, and he said, no, you have to go out. So he sent also some part of the family to come there to knock my door. He said, I realized I don't have any solution. There is no way I go out. I will stay here for 3 months, what I paid, and then I will go out. And after the moment, he started texting me. I said, really, there is no other way. But I remember 7 January, it was like a Serbian Christmas. The guy, we're already 2 months there, so stressful, like no money. I started working some trainings and something. The guy gave me Kandura, white Arabic suit, okay. And from the court, and I said, that's it. He knocked on the door and said, can I see the contract of the, and I had the contract, but also I took all the papers from previous tenant, the passport copy and everything, have it repaired because the agent just disappeared, and literally he didn't even paid. I paid him for electricity to put on my name, so we were without electricity for 2-3 days there. Wow. So I paid, with last money the electricity debt from the previous tenant, so they can put on his name, and I had electricity. And I realized at that moment with the guy, I gave him the papers and the contract, and I say, so he told me, this guy didn't pay the loan for the bank, wow. So don't do anything with him. I said, okay, cool, but what was I supposed to do? I paid this for a year because on the contract was for a year. I paid it for 3 months.
Right.
I realized the opportunity there. So I said, don't, just don't deal anything with him. Let me know, and we will solve this. Okay, that's fine. And I text the guy. I went to the police, and you didn't pay the loan, so you have to deal with them. So I'm here, to solve this. I realized that he wanted to cheat me.
Sure.
And that's the moment. And I literally stayed for a year after that without paying anything. And if I didn't have that, I couldn't stay because I didn't have any money.
Right.
I spent everything from Serbia, everything. But literally, and that was a Serbia story. I brought like a 50,000 euro, which I had, 60, but I bought a BMW X6. So I had a BMW X6. So that was a stupid decision, but at that moment I felt amazing because I had something. So that was before my, daughter and wife came. So at the one moment, I stayed there for a year. So, and yeah. A lot of things happened, how we started the fitness business and everything, but that was the main thing, surviving there, having the kid and the vision and my wife. And we literally, when we started doing the trainings, because I realized, okay, let's go back to basic. I wanted to import tobacco, cheese, everything, and that everything fell apart when my partner pulled back. And we literally woke up we didn't even woke up Una. So we just took her from the bed at 6 a.m. We put her in the car. So I'm doing the trainings while my wife waits with Una in the car. Then she's doing training, I'm waiting. And that's like every fucking day for a couple of months.
Crazy.
Every morning.
Yep.
So with the daughter. So we couldn't afford the nanny.
Yep.
So we had to work, both of us. And for me, going back was never an option.
Right.
So this is the first time I speak this publicly. Maybe some of my friends know, but this was like a very hard thing, and in the same time I believe I can make it something worldwide. You really feel that in yourself.
Sure.
But you don't know how.
Of course. Amazing. Crazy story. Really, really inspiring. So now fast forward 4 or 5 years, and now you have over 70 trainers,
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about the company right now. Like, what does that look like? Do you still train? What does your company look like? What's your daily schedule like, and so on?
So basically now I opened company 2017 officially, or 2018, I don't even remember. But the last 2.5 years was exponential growth. So we grew up, double from after lockdown. We did like, I don't know, maybe 600,000 euros in revenue that year. Then we did the 2 years back, 2 millions in revenue. And then last year we did $4 million in revenue. With around 25-30% net profitability. So we are growing like 100% like every year.
Incredible.
Yes, so that's really good. So every day is almost the same. So I woke up, I'm there with kids like 1 hour. Then I go to my training. I have my coach for myself because that keeps me accountable. Okay. And I believe commitment is part of results for everything. So I have my coach. I train 4 times per week. I go to the training. I come to the office. After training, I do maybe sauna 10 minutes, and I go to the office, and I'm there from 12 till 8, 9 p.m.
Right.
Every day. And I deal, now it's a lot of strategic work, a lot of things about how we can grow, how we can dominate the market, how we can take the market, how we can take other countries. So it's all about, the leadership, how we can implement better sales skills to our coaches, role plays, how to, lead these people, because the biggest thing is to lead these kind of people.
Sure.
And they should trust you, they should believe in the vision, and they should see their career path in the company.
Right. So you basically have become almost like a HR company in a way, right? You don't train anymore. So I think, what do you think is your greatest challenge when you're dealing with people these days?
I mean, my biggest obsession and at the same time challenge is leadership. It's, because we are hiring every month new people.
Right.
So we have to coach them fast to follow our system. So we have like our team leaders, and we have like a team leader for team leaders, and then we have a manager, project manager, and then me. So how to coach these people, our system, because most of the trainers think this is about the training, which is not.
Right.
Training is 20%, and that's have to be great. These have to be amazing, outstanding. But this is only 20% of the business. You have like why people come to us. They don't go to the gym. So the people who come to us, they are not, the people are motivated with 2 things: avoiding pain and gaining pleasure.
Sure.
And our clients are mostly 40 plus, 50 plus, which they never train in their life. So we have one opportunity to go in their house, 45 minutes, to establish rapport, to find deep emotional reason why they want to train, not just I want to lose weight or something, sure, what is behind, and to sell them. Because we cannot help them without selling them first. So, and we have to train our coaches to coach them how to do that, because when you're in the gym, you can meet, the random person several times, you can make the rapport, you can show some exercise, and then you become friendly, and then, you want to start one training, and then they buy a package.
Right.
Here, you have one chance, and you have to handle all the objections, and you have to be better than anyone else because our prices are premium.
Right.
Of course, when we sell, we have to over-deliver. And that's what we work on the coaches, because it's not just about training, it's about engagement, to mentor these clients every day, right, with the food, how it's going, to know how to people feel significance. Each of these clients, if one coach have 20 clients, each of them have to feel that he's the most important client in his life.
Right.
Because no one wants to feel like a number.
Absolutely.
And that's challenging to coach coaches fast to have that mindset. We choose the people with emotional intelligence. We believe that they can be good fit for us. Of course, we make mistakes sometimes, but these mistakes are, very, very minimum now.
Amazing. So I know you're a big Tony Robbins fan.
Yes.
I know myself. I started reading him back in the day. Actually, the first point of contact for me was It wasn't Awaken the Giant. It was actually like a 30-day. It was cassettes back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a 30-day thing where you basically listen to one tape per day.
Yes.
And then you have different assignments and everything like that. I even had a subliminal tape, so I would put it on. I would put it on at night, and you don't hear anything. You're like, I don't know if this works or not. But anyway, so I played it for literally 7-8 hours every night, and then I did all the different homework assignments and everything like that. And then I remember I read Awaken the Giant Within, really good book, and there's a whole story about that. But anyways, tell us about Tony Robbins. And I know that you just finished a couple of seminars with him. Like, what was that like? And I know that you did it with your crew, right? With your team, right?
Yeah.
You know, what was that like? I mean,
So basically, I was obsessed in this from when I came to Dubai until I opened the company, and when I opened the company with all these things which can help me to grow my mindset, to release all negative beliefs we have on the Balkan about the money, about everything. You know, the money is evil, this is bad. So I did all kind of things from Theta healing. I'm Reiki master, so everything what could help me to find my own balance and to balance my energy. It's okay to get frustrated, but how fast you come back.
right.
So that helped me a lot. I do meditation almost daily. I write my journal. That's what really helps me. So, and then I start, reading about the Tony Robbins, and I went on almost all seminars. So, and this helped me, to change the software in the brain, change the values, because one of the axes, okay, what kind of person you want to be in 10 years? Okay, this kind of person. Okay, sure. How that person like behave, or like what kind of say, it's like this father like this, he's successful, it's growing, he's like a good husband, everything. What kind of values that person have, not you today. And then you start rewind. That's one of the exercise. So I finished I've been Unleash the Power Within, Date with Destiny, which is one of the best seminars. It's like a 5 days, 17 hours,
Right.
business mastery, of course, all audio. For me, the best, because when I was doing the coaching, I was driving every day 300 kilometers. So because you travel from the location to location. We are a mobile personal training company, and we have to go to the people's houses. It's everything Dubai is on demand. So every day I was driving, I was reading, I was listening every day, new things. And that helped me to grow a lot, because you 3 hours a day, you listen to new things, new programs. I did also subliminal, all these things during the night. I did my visualization, everything. My affirmation was everywhere. When I opened my closet for the things, I have $250 million. I go to brush my teeth. It's on the mirror. I go in my car. It's on the mirror.
Yep.
So everywhere for 2-3 years, I was obsessed to really my brainwashed, with the new beliefs, with everything that, I know I can do it, just I don't know how. And then, okay, I realized, sure, this is great, and this helped me to come here, but now let's focus on the skills.
Right.
Because this is good, but without focusing on the new skills, what kind of skills you need, this will never help. You can sit at home, visualize, and I want, and then I start, being obsessed about sales, about leadership, about the marketing, about everything else. So going back on Tony Robbins, it was great experience. All this I finished, first with my wife. That helped me also with rewiring my brain, and just then I brought some of my team leaders on all the leadership seminars and everything else. So yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, it's so important. It's almost like you have to deprogram yourself from all the BS we've been taught by, unfortunately, parents, which were passed on by their parents, and the schooling systems these days are basically just kindergarten services, right? So I think it's really important to be able to deprogram yourself and then program yourself. So upgrade, upgrade your firmware, so to speak, and go from there. So that's crazy. It's amazing. The story is fascinating. I love it. Dubai itself. I mean, I've had many people now from Dubai that have moved to Dubai on the podcast. What is it that you like about Dubai? Like what's so special about Dubai?
I mean, Dubai, I see like opportunity. It's very safe. When they told me before, I used to work like a bodyguard and security in all the nightclubs. And when I ask my friends, they say it's safe. I said, it's not safe. It's funny, but here is safe, but you have to protect yourself. Then in Dubai, you realize I didn't lock my house for 5 years. Literally. Right. You leave the phone here on the beach and you come in 2 hours, it's there. Yeah. It's really changed your mind. Okay, this is normal. So it's very safe. I like that. So it's very entrepreneurial oriented. So they, now they start with taxes. We have VAT and it will start 9% of corporate tax. So, but for my company, that the first tax return will be 2025. So we still have, chance to.
And this is only tax earned within the UAE.
Yes.
Correct. Because any international income that you have living in Dubai is still at 0%, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And we have 5% on VAT, what we are selling in GCC. So, but we are doing everything in GCC now.
Sure.
So, I love, but Dubai, it's good. Weather is fine. 8 months a year is great. Then we run away a little bit Serbia. I think it's a good hub to be. They have a good vision. They have a good leadership. They're not too much politically oriented.
Right.
So if you are successful, if you can do something, they will not stop you.
Right.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. I think, being in the crypto space also is like really refreshing to see a government being friendly towards that. And I tell my friends all the time, it's funny how, Dubai, when they say zero tax, I mean, if you work online, this is the place to be.
Yeah.
It's not like, I know Joe and his friend is a banker and I have a lawyer in the Caribbean and, some kind of stupid system, which, obviously is being done. Dubai picks you up from the airport. They take you in a government van to get a medical, and they basically say, "Come live here and pay no tax." Yeah. It's incredible. It's incredible. It just blows my mind that some of these countries don't understand that taxing people, makes people, one, run away, and two, not want to innovate as much as some of these other places because it's all driven by some socialist system or something, I suppose, right? Super interesting. Another question, Dubai and the Middle East, would you say that in the next 10 to 20 years, a lot of companies are going to be moving there?
I believe so, but also Saudi Arabia, it's like a new hub for a business.
Okay.
And everyone is talking about Saudi. I'm still not there. I think that's also one of my competitors. They went to Saudi, but they think, okay, this is my opportunity to dominate here.
Right.
So let's take the most of here,
sure.
Dubai and Abu Dhabi and Sharjah and all the Emirates, and then we can go somewhere else.
Right.
Because yes, I can try to show myself to grow and open somewhere else, but that will take my energy from growing here.
Of course.
And there is still a lot of opportunity. So I think 2040 they have the vision to be the best city for living,
right?
And they want to have 5 more times of beaches of the
and this is sea.
Dubai,
right?
Yes. So I believe so. I like Dubai.
Right. Yeah, it's really amazing. I mean, your story is super inspirational. A lot of the stuff I didn't even know, and I'm your friend. But it's important to have this type of talk because
yes.
there's a lot of people out there that don't know what to do and how to do it, and they all think that it comes easy. It doesn't. I think it's a lot about discipline.
Yes.
It's a lot about on a daily, almost like you said, brainwash yourself into success, so to speak. Right. It's something that everybody needs to do. So I always ask this last question to all my guests, and that is, if you were in my shoes and you would ask yourself a question that I didn't ask, what would that be?
So that would be, what else are you doing? What is your vision? What will you plan? And I can tell you now,
sure.
We are importing food and vegetables in 210 stores in Dubai from Serbia. We are one of the biggest importer now of Serbian food. All big brands are working now with us. That's one of the things which I work with my partner. But my thing and my biggest obsession is fitness, and I want that to be, I really want to be the biggest and the best personal training company in the world. And I'm obsessed about that, to find the systems, to how to scale to the people, how do people be because also our coaches, like I said, is our main clients. We need great coaches.
Yep.
We need amazing coaches who can follow our system. So you have great coaches for the gym, and they can be amazing trainers there. But they are not for our system.
Right.
So this is my goal, my vision, and I don't know what else, but we know each other, so you know a lot of things.
Sure, no, that's amazing. I mean, I'm really I want to say proud of you, but
yes.
You've done amazing, really.
Do you
well.
remember when we together?
Yeah.
I have to say, and Nicola is here behind the cameras as well. But when we designed my website the first time, and Maria told me, you have to be the most expensive one. I said, okay. I said, what is the most expensive? I said, I don't know, 400 dirhams that moment. You had to be 800. And then we put 800. And then I said, okay, no one will buy this. Yes, it will. And then I sold for 800, and then I raised for 2,000.
That's right.
That was the 3 years ago. I think 3 years ago.
4 years ago.
3-4 years ago.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah. That's cool. Well, tell all the people in UAE where they can find you and where they can hire you.
So basically, our company is called PTD Fitness. We are first on Google. If you type anything about personal training, we are organically first. Personal training Dubai, personal trainers. Our website is personaltrainersdubai.com. very easy to remember. So yeah, we are now operating in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Sharjah. And that's it. Its plan is to scale to 100 coaches by end of the year. But again, we are not in a rush. We want to find the quality people. Sometimes you make 2 steps forward, then 1 step back. Sure. But over the long line, we are just progressing.
Well, it's amazing. I mean, us at Veza Digital is opening an office in November in Dubai as well. So we're expanding into the Middle East.
Great.
So we'll be seeing you there.
Great.
Thanks
I
for
can't
being
wait.
on the podcast.
Yeah. Thank you, bro.